New York Republican Congressman Pete King is a member of both the Homeland Security and Intelligence Committees. He is joining us this morning from New York. Well, you heard the Secretary, you just heard our discussion, Congressman. Isn't this coming down to we need to decide whether these people, the Russians, were behind this or not? Is the question I ask the Secretary, well, what else do we need to know here?
Bob, I agree with you. I think Secretary Kerry laid out the case against Russia. There can be no reasonable doubt now that Russia was involved, that Putin was involved. By supplying this type of weaponry to a group of thugs like the Ukrainian separatists, you have to bear responsibility for what happens after that. And this really is a game changer. That, I think, is the point that the U.S. and our Western allies have to make clear to Putin, that the rules of the game have now changed. He has violated civilized norms. And I think that we have to take very severe economic sanctions, and also ones that are symbolic. For instance, I think we should talk about canceling the World Cup. Why should countries be going in the World Cup to Moscow? Why should, for instance, Aeroflot be allowed to continue to have landing rights? So long as Putin is not allowing access to the crash site, so long as the crime scene there is being totally polluted, this man has shown that he's really incapable of functioning in a civilized world. This is going back to the days of Stalin and Khrushchev and Brezhnev in the way he's responding to a crisis which he caused and which everyone knows he did, and yet he goes underground. This is what a mafia guy does. This is what a goon does, not a world leader, not someone in the civilized world.
Well, you point out canceling Aeroflot flights to the United States. That's exactly one of the things that Ronald Reagan did. He stopped all negotiating on all fronts after the Soviets shot down that Korean plane, and he also turned away Aeroflot flights coming into the United States, and that ban stayed in effect for 3 years. But I'm wondering, do you think even something like that would have an impact on Mr. Putin? Because right now, nothing we have done so far seems to have had any influence whatsoever on what he's doing.
Bob, I think it would if our Western allies went along with it. And I've been so disappointed in many European nations. But I have to give Prime Minister David Cameron of the UK tremendous credit. In his statement he put out today, he was very critical of the other European countries who somehow want to go back to a Munich-type mentality and assume that this is going to disappear, this is going to go away. It's not. They have to stand up to Putin. So if we had our Western allies, our European allies go along with this, cooperate with us, and impose severe sanctions, and I give Cameron credit for leading the way in Europe, then it would have an impact. Also, we could have our people just start putting out the names and locations of all the bank accounts that Putin and his goons, where their money is hidden, all of the stolen assets that are hidden around the world by the Russians. We've been playing by sort of Marquis of Queensberry rules with someone who is really the ultimate dirty fighter. And to me, there's no moral equivalency here. He is not a part of the civilized nation.
All right. Well, Congressman King, thank you so much. And we'll be back in a moment with some personal thoughts.